sure we'll be asked about this again a million times, but I was wondering, now that the game's nearly out, ramping down, it's all becoming very real. Do you feel any sense of regret? Do you think, did you make the right decision?
I mean, I've spoken with lots of people on the team. It's something we talk a lot about, and I tell you honestly, because we haven't really released the game yet, I don't think it's fully sunk in for the majority of people. People I think now are just happy that the hard amount of work is now behind them. And personally, I think it's not going to be until a couple months out when we really start to realize that we're done working in this universe, in this space. Certainly, I don't think there's any regrets, though. I definitely have never heard any sentiment of that. I think there's a sense of pride and accomplishment for not only creating such a rich universe to be able to persist for so long, but really feeling truly that we've built our best Halo game yet, and that we're going out with a bang, and that we really set the bar for what a Halo experience should be, and something we can all be proud of and look back on and leave for our fans. And at the same time, it's going to be really invigorating now to get ready to take that new leap and move into something completely different, and push the team and see if we can do it again.
Yeah, in many ways, we don't really feel sort of done at all, in that we still have the best part about the game development, which is the releasing it to the public, and it's always, of course, the most exciting part, and especially with things like the new Forge and Forge World, we still haven't experienced the full Halo Reach ourselves, in that once we release it, we get to see what the community does and how they contribute, and it's just so exciting. So yeah, like Brian said, we know sort of the state of the situation, but we still feel like we're just getting the best part of Reach. So.
So why tell the story of Reach? Why not continue Master Chief's story?
Yeah, it's a good question. Obviously, the Master Chief story is really cool in its own right, but the really nice thing about Reach that this allowed us to do, where the Master Chief story, he's the last Spartan, and that's cool in its own way, but we really wanted to see, hey, not only what is it like to, back in the day before Master Chief, when there was a huge Covenant invasion, you had armies of Spartans and squads of Spartans engaging the huge army and invasion of the Covenant. This is a good story in which we get the sort of high point or epicenter of the full-on battle. So we're like, yeah, we got to do that. And on top of that, we get to actually, it does sort of tell us sort of part of the story of the Chief, in that I think people do like to see, how did this all come to be, and how does this story lead in, and how does Noble Team's involvement in the story, how do they impact the story of the Master Chief, and you'll get to see not only this great giant Covenant invasion and battle with the Spartans, but you get to see sort of how that led to, with the sacrifice of Reach, the future of humanity through Master Chief's story.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think there's something kind of nice and poetic about ending our 10 years of Halo kind of by going back to where it all began, and by being a self-contained story too. We talked a lot about, and we've mentioned this before. The first discussion we ever had at Bungie started with, okay, well, let's discuss what might Halo 4 be, and what could that entail. But I think it quickly just became potentially way more than we could fit into a single game and do it well, and it obviously brings forward a lot of baggage with it too, and things that if you're not intimately familiar with all that's transpired before it, is that going to be a great experience for players? I mean, just for a lot of different reasons, like Niles said, that going back to Reach, and certainly the events on that planet, that turning point in the war, beloved by fans, it's a really exciting point in the universe. It's just everything kind of aligned to make it really compelling for our studio.
The criticism and the acclaim kind of go hand in hand with Halo. People would say that Halo 2 was too linear, and then Halo 3 was too short and too open, and ODST was too bipolar. Have you keenly felt that criticism? Has it stung, and have you addressed it with Reach?
I mean, certainly, yeah, with the amount of success Halo has, you're going to have a lot of differing opinions, and it's, of course, always very difficult to make everybody happy to a certain extent. And in addition, we're sort of our biggest critics at Bungie. There's all sorts of opinions about what we've done in the past, and the nice thing about Reach, though, that I can say today is that I think we really do feel like this is our best Halo game. We really chosen the best parts of all the other Halo games. This one is a lot larger in many ways than the previous Halo games. It is the biggest Halo game, both in terms of the story scope and also the individual levels. As you've probably seen from the opening mission, I barely scratched the surface of really what you could do, especially when it comes to four-player co-op. But yeah, with this game, we really feel like we've hit the right mix of all of what we've sort of learned in the past from our Halo games and put it all into one package. So yeah, it's a big game, and I think it's our best.
During the development of Reach, did you ever think at one point, like there was a wow moment? You were like, wow, this game is really good, unless you've had it throughout the whole development. But of course, generally that won't be from the start development. But have you had that kind of moment from a specific point in the game, or?
I mean, it's probably different for everybody.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been more on the perimeter of the project, so it's been probably different for me looking in than it has been for Niles and his team right in the middle, sort of in the trenches, if you will. But I think my first real big moment was the first time I ever really saw the true payoff of taking a player through some intense infantry combat into the cockpit of a spaceship and launching them up into space real time, and immediately throwing me into this big epic Star Wars style of battle. I hadn't seen it, I'd only heard about it, and I was a little skeptical, and finally seeing that payoff was, I don't know, it just kind of clicked for me, and for me that sort of punctuated the entire experience that Reach is going to be offering to fans.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's funny, towards the end of game development, there's so many people that just get focused on the game and start finishing up, what we started, and that's really when you'll turn your head away from the game or at least parts of the game for a few days or a week, and you turn your head back, and it's like something you've never seen before. And there was certainly other points, like space combat is a great example, and there's other stuff that I can't reveal yet. I'm really excited for people to see, but where I even play it today, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is absolutely remarkable, and the scope is just huge, and what you're doing is so different in many ways from stuff you've done in the past that, towards the, when we boot up the game these days, it's still cool. Even when I watch you do the Forge editor, I'm just like, wow, that looks amazing. And half some of the features, like with the options you have in placing pieces, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know you could do that, because I've been focused on the campaign the whole time, and a lot of us can't wait to get the game ourselves and explore the parts that we weren't working on. So
I mean, even yesterday it was really funny because we've been playing this game a lot, and it's the first time we were stuck around after the journalists left, and we just played Firefight amongst ourselves because whatever, we enjoy playing the game. It's the first time I'd ever seen a skirmisher in the game use the hologram against the player, and
that's cool.
it's just, I think because of our organic, sort of the unscripted nature of our game experience, there's just always these little moments where, wait, did he just do what I think he did? And I've never seen him do that before. And it's crazy that after this many games of playing, I've never seen and the AI use the hologram against me. And it's just, it's pretty awesome. Our guys are pretty damn talented.
Minutes left.
Sure.
We should probably give more succinct answers.
Yes. No.
Activision's got a ban wrap at the moment. Does that concern you?
Do they?
Yeah, I think so.
No, it doesn't concern us at all. We've spoken quite a bit about this, and certainly it's not great, the situation that it's in the industry, and I don't know any more about it than anybody else does. But we're game developers. We have a great plan. We're really excited about our future and our new universe that we're going to bring to life, and we have a really awesome deal with those guys. So ultimately, I don't think it's going to really matter who helps that game get into the hands of gamers, other than we're happy to know that Activision's got a world-class publishing expertise across multiple platforms, and they're going to be a great partner that's given us a great relationship and a great deal. So we're not too worried about it.
From the development point of view, that's similar sort of thing, I'd assume.
I'd say, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd say 80% of my answer is we're still, in total honesty, still getting over Reach, and not even getting over it, but like I said, excited to release it. But when we do look to the future, the nice thing about working at Bungie that I'd say is unique to any of the jobs I've had in the industry is the publishers know that they can trust us, and they know that if they trust Bungie, we will deliver a great game experience, and we won't fail at that. And I think that's earned us a lot of sort of just freedom and latitude to do what we feel is right. And in the end, I'm not worried at all that I'm sure the future is very bright. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
That's it, guys. Sorry, we're out of time.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah,